But boom, we're live.
Well, I like that little intro without the cameras there.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that the last couple of podcasts. It
Yeah.
seems more professional, and I think.
It gives people. Yeah.
Well, the biggest part of it too is like, I don't have our total analytics as far as I can look up the YouTube ones, but the best analytics for our podcast are obviously on our Twitter, and I have not been able to find, or they're not available to me to find, watch time statistics from everybody. I would assume that, because you can't fast forward on Twitter podcasts, or I have trouble doing it. Like when I try to look through on our Twitter, like when I go to podcasts.
I think if you hold the screen down.
Oh, okay.
You can.
But I would figure like most people watch our podcast the first couple seconds or couple minutes, and then they'll click off. So like that little intro kind of gives it its own
I feel like
thing.
we have more of a. Especially right now, like we're not like people aren't tuning in live, like they ain't like fucking foaming at the mouth to come watch us at, 9 o'clock at night, or Eastern, you know what I mean? They're
100%.
They're like, holy shit, like fucking Zach and Austin are on, and I gotta fucking run to my computer and turn it on. No, they're not doing that. We got like the fans that they might watch it tomorrow or the next day.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't know if it's just because we always pin our podcast to the profile, but we get as many viewers after the stream as we do, or sometimes more than we do when we go live.
It's the most important thing to do after we get done with this podcast is to pin that to the top.
I just pinned it. I usually pin it in the first minute.
Yeah.
Just to get it out of the way.
If it's not pinned, I'll fucking pin it right after I'm done. Or like if something else gets pinned, it's like your article, like that was pinned for like I think like a day or two, wasn't really getting much traction, so I just put the podcast back on because it makes the most sense. The moving aspect of it catches people's eye in the pinned tweet. As soon as you scroll down, something's already clocking down to 30.
Right.
No, that's branding.
So yeah, we had a Twitter space today. We've actually done, is it 2 Twitter spaces in 2 days now, or is it 2 in 3 days? Can't remember. We did one for the first time in a long time. Was it Sunday? All right, so 2 in 3 days. Could be the start of getting back to it. I'd love to get back to spaces where I'm not going to say we broke it, but we were I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about it. And the media page that turned me to it was Freak MMA. I don't know if you follow them at all.
Oh, we're going to jump right into this.
Yeah, we're jumping right into it. On Instagram, Freak MMA. I don't go to Instagram a lot. I was literally just scrolling. Like I woke up from a nap or something and I scrolled and it said Francis Ngannou is now a free agent.
I'm a Twitter fiend, dude. I'm like, it's not, that's like bad, but good at the same time. Like I'm a Twitter, I just do Twitter. Never Facebook, never Instagram. I don't know why. TikTok, no. Snapchat, not really.
I only post on Twitter. I post occasionally on Facebook. Facebook is where I have older friends from the restaurants I work at, and obviously my family is only on like Facebook. So I post on Facebook occasionally to talk to them or something, but I only post on Twitter. I don't post on Instagram. I don't post on TikTok. I'm not really huge into Snapchat. Like I Snapchat you once a week and you're probably my second best friend on Snapchat. You know what I mean? So as far as social media goes, it's really just Twitter for me.
Yeah, which I was also thinking, I know we're getting a little off topic, but maintaining it. When we do get like a decent following, I think it would be a smart idea to make an MMA complete Snapchat. Way down the line. I'm talking like years down now.
I think that at some point we're gonna have to create MMA complete social media for everything. I really do. I think that once we get to it, MMA complete, TikTok's gonna do well. We can have shorts. Our YouTube shorts would go very well. A Facebook page, I think would go very well because, to a certain extent, UFC, in my eyes, there's 2 gaps, or there's 2.
Way off topic now, but keep going.
There's 2 different fields. There's the people that have been UFC fans forever, and that generally.
Is that picking me up good?
What?
The mic.
Oh, right.
One in front of my face.
All right, so that's gonna be better. So there's the people that have been watching UFC forever, and maybe they're like diehard MMA fans who have been training MMA forever, and that's, I would argue, half of the viewership, maybe a little less than half now. And they are Facebook. They're not a whole lot on Twitter. We're talking 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds. They're mostly Facebook. And then you got the new generation that has really gotten towards it through COVID and ever since then, and maybe a little bit before. And that's mostly Twitter and Instagram to an extent.
Yeah.
So I think
the community thing on Twitter, dude. I think that's massive.
And that's the thing about Facebook is that you can
Reddit.
join in Reddit. The same thing. You can join groups, and those groups have 40,000 people in them.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Like, we are at the fucking stone age right now. Like, Twitter is becoming the all social media hub. Like, it's going to be YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook. It's all going to be mapped into one. And Twitter is going to be the hub. I think
Facebook is going to always be competitive. I think there might be a time where Twitter becomes the number one social media brand. I mean, right now it's definitely Facebook.
Probably Facebook. Yeah, I just feel like Facebook has a lot of phony shit on there. Like, not like. Well,
if you just look at the numbers,
spam accounts, do like spam and so much bots and like.
Well, there's a lot of bots on Twitter too.
Zuckerberg's, yeah, but they're trying to maintain it.
But if you look at it, if you look at the demographics, if you look at people 30 years old and younger, Twitter definitely has a stronghold on that. I would say that people 30-year-olds and younger spend most of their time on Twitter to an extent of like 80% of them. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, like look at Elon Musk buys it. Dude, my dad makes one. Mike Furtado makes one. Like that generation starts coming in now.
Right.
But that generation that takes time.
Yeah, exactly.
With everything.
I think that they'll definitely be not in the near future, but in a couple of years, I don't see why Twitter wouldn't be able to take over as the number one.
Yeah, like why TikTok would be good to do now, but then when Twitter brings back Vine, well, it's just like fuck TikTok.
The thing is, TikTok would be good to do now. It would have been great to do like a year ago. You know what I mean?
We're already starting. When you said to do it 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I was like, nah, fuck TikTok because they steal your data.
Yeah.
I think that's fucked. But anyway, that's another thing.
All right.
That would have been the best time to do it, honestly. Like
TikTok blew the fuck up.
TikTok, like it was blown up then, but it blew up. Like there's that algorithms.
And you know what's crazy about TikTok? And this is the last thing because we should start talking about shit. And I mean, if you got anything else to say, Cam, but the thing about TikTok is I would argue, and I go back to watch time. If you go to analytics, and I don't know how I'd be able to track this, but if you look for the social media brands that people spend the most time scrolling on without leaving, I think TikTok would probably be number one because people spend 2-3 hours a time without just scrolling TikTok. TikTok.
No, I'm glad you noticed that because I know people doing that, and especially like YouTube Shorts. I've always watched YouTube Shorts, never TikTok. Dude.
See,
is that weird? It's the same thing. Though.
I watch Facebook Shorts more than I watch YouTube Shorts now.
Facebook Shorts too, yeah. But
it's the same thing.
Yeah, I told you about YouTube. They're turning on monetization.
I find that I'm actually not on YouTube as much as I find I'm not on YouTube as much as I used to be. I've definitely gotten farther away from YouTube. You should not get far. You should go back to it. Yeah.
No, well, I'm not saying like that. Do what you want.
I actually dude, fucking stupid me. I just found a way that we can live stream without the StreamYard that we've been doing just on YouTube. Like it's literally the same exact fucking thing. It's just.
And you can add more cameras.
Probably. So the thing is,
you gotta check that out.
You have a 24-hour hold for the YouTube channel to make sure that you're like not a bot and to make sure. So this time tomorrow, 9:00 tomorrow, I'll be able to go in there and see really what it is. Okay. But it's gonna be at a point where we can just. Like we said, if we want to pre-record videos, that's how we're going to do it.
That's how we're going to do it. And I really think that when we do that and we do pre-record it, we're going to have time to make those shorts because I do want to learn how to do that. I think that's something. It's something very simple.
It's very simple.
It's
literally simple. Like cropping.
Yeah, and we're already doing it right now. Like I think
not only that, but we could also, if we felt like it, we could just fucking do 2 30-minute podcasts, save those on hold. They don't have to be an hour 15 like we usually do.
It's a podcast. Well, we've talked about this a lot. What?
There's no rules for podcasts.
There's no rules, but I feel like it becomes more like a show at that point, not more like a podcast.
I hear what you're saying.
Not like that. It's kind of like what I tell you with the articles. Like instead of putting like 3-4 guys on one article, just do like one article a guy. And then they would have 4 articles. It's kind of like the same thing. So like I'm kind of seeing your point. Yeah, man. I feel like an hour, like a little above an hour. Whatever we're doing, I wouldn't say like it's perfect, and it's like it's definitely working.
Excuse me.
Hang on, Steve's calling me.
All right, so I'm gonna jump into this real quick while you're doing that. So the news came out today. Freak MMA came out as the first source to say this, and then there was other credible news sources like USA Today, Sportskeeda.com came out and said it. They said that Francis Ngannou is now a free agent. Now I looked this up, and that's false to an extent. Francis Ngannou's contract, and this is not set in stone, but there's multiple reports, more than the ones I just said. MMA On Point being one of the more credible ones that say that Francis Ngannou's contract comes to an end on January 20th, 2023. So we have 10 days left until Francis Ngannou's contract is officially over with the UFC. However, there is a clause in the contract in which he has 4 months where he can only negotiate with the UFC. So, what does this mean? Well, one thing it means is that he has no benefits from the UFC at all. He's not getting paid by the UFC at all for 4 months. If he does choose to completely get away from the UFC and he doesn't want to sign a new contract, which it seems like he does not because he's had ample opportunities. And I think that this is a weird thing because Ngannou, obviously, in my opinion, Ngannou, his camp, his team, his manager are the ones that leak this information because the UFC would never do this. The UFC would never come out and say that he's going to be a free agent. It's really just to garner other organizations to make hype surrounding it so the UFC can see that there's hype around Ngannou and they can, in turn, the UFC realize that
cute kid
the UFC is in dire need. Not dire need, but they're in very big need to sign Ngannou. So the thing I just said that we didn't talk about in space, Francis Ngannou, and I looked this up.
I read the tweet.
What tweet?
That you posted, January 20th.
Yes. However, January 20th is when his contract comes to an end. Mm-hmm. And then after that, he has a clause in his contract that he has a 4-month non-negotiation period where he can only negotiate with the UFC. So that would mean until May 20th, he cannot talk to any other promotions. And another thing is interesting. Another thing that's interesting. It's kind of like a non-compete clause that you see with common actors or anchor hosts. Like if, say Skip Bayless gets his contract runs out, he can't then, because he works for Fox, he can't then right after that go to CBS.
He works for Fox?
He's on Undisputed. I'm pretty sure that's Fox Sports.
I always thought he was on ESPN.
He was on ESPN for a long time, and then he went to Fox. His show, Shannon and Skip, or whatever, the Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Whatever. I fucking hate Shannon Sharp, dude.
That is, they have like a non-compete clause where they can't go against the, what do you call it? Brand. Because it would turn into a huge thing. Someone swipes him up the next week and he's on the next channel and everybody's like, oh shit, I wonder if he's going to go talk shit about this channel. So everybody tunes into the next show. That's kind of what everybody does. So he has 4 months. And now here's the thing. There's certain perks and bonuses that come with the UFC contract. So one, he's not going to be able to get their fucking health insurance. He's not going to be able to get the Performance Institute benefits. He's not going to be able to get the fucking massages, the training gyms, all that stuff, which I'm sure he'd be able to manage without. I'm sure he can have his own fucking health benefits and he has his own gym and all that. Yeah. But that's not coming off the UFC's dime anymore. And that's 4 months he's not getting paid. So I don't know.
Fine with that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, it is a little bit of a hit, but it's not a hit that's gonna make him be like, okay, I have to suck.
What's crazy is that like he gets paid $800,000 to fight, dude, and then you think like after taxes he's getting 40% taken out.
So
like, he's really only making like
he got like
500,000.
He got like $600K for his fight against Shogun. That was his UFC contract, cash. He got a performance of the night. It's $50,000.
Yeah, but after taxes, that's fucking thick.
There is a great article on MMA On Point.
Like that's what happened
about. I can't remember who the fuck it was about. It was like Michael Bisping or Chris Weidman, one of the kind of older middleweight fighters.
Okay.
That said that because it's not only taxes, you have to pay legal fees, you have to pay your trainers, you have to pay your gym fees, you have to pay your coaches' fees. When you get your fighter pay, say it's $600,000, you're getting like a total of like 35-40% of that just to you after that.
Do you think the UFC should have like their own coaches on their salary?
So we talked about this on a space not too long ago.
We did.
I don't know why a coach would do that, though, is the thing. It depends. If you're like an up-and-coming coach and you want to kind of just make a career for yourself and not try to go out on your own, yeah, I can see why you do that. But for the established guys, you're going to make way more money off your own gym than you would working for the UFC. So that's why they wouldn't do that. But I can see that becoming a thing. I wouldn't know why the UFC wouldn't want to do that.
They get full benefits of the UFC, though.
Not only that, but maybe they don't have to pay so much in like liabilities. Like if you own a gym, you have a certain amount of insurance you have to pay in case someone gets fucked up in your gym.
Both.
You know what I mean? So I can see that becoming a thing, but for right now, it's not.
UFC gives you a gym, or not gives you a gym, but maybe you got like let's just say like 32 coaches because there's like 32 teams and all the other ones. 32 gyms throughout the country, maybe more than a couple in Vegas. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, but
it helps the fighter not pay.
We've already talked about this in another space. It was one I enjoyed. Steve made some really good points about this. I thought Steve had some good shit to say. I'd love to talk about it again because I think that is a really good area. And we were talking about different things from fighter pay to performance institute bonuses, but benefits. It's a weird side of the UFC that you never hear anything about.
Yeah, and the legal fees I've never heard that one. Like I think the UFC should have their own legal team for the fighters. I mean, they are working for the UFC.
Right.
Or like is it because the UFC does have their own lawyers that they have to pay a fee for that? I don't know. That's interesting.
So
I do not think they have to pay.
If Ngannou paid 600, if Ngannou got $600,000 for his fight, he himself walked home with $200,000, which isn't a bad fucking payday.
That's fucking awful.
That's after taxes. That's after taxes too.
When he got paid 600,000, or didn't he get paid 800,000? Was it? I'm pretty sure his last fight he got paid 800,000.
That hurt.
That sucks. So 800,000 tax, you get 40% goes to Sam. You got paid 600,000.
$600,000.
444,000.
Cyril Gane took home 500,000. By the way.
Damn.
You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. And Ngannou's been in the UFC way long, champ.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a big name until like what?
He was a big
name. 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Who, Gane or Ngannou?
Ngannou.
Ngannou wasn't a big name until the Overeem fight where he knocked him the fuck out. He was already a big name in circles of like people that knew this guy had ridiculous power. Mm-hmm. But the Stipe fight, the first one, was in 2018. So the Overeem fight would have been in 2017.
Yeah.
Just like 5 years ago.
I can't wait until there's this motherfucker in heavyweight that's like Mike Tyson that just blows UFC to like another level. Like, never really had, Brock Lesnar, but I mean, we never really had a very vocal,
vocal heavyweight or a guy that dominates in the octagon.
Dominate is just such a good fucking boxer and striker, like just total dominance.
Honestly, you might not realize this, but that was Stipe.
Yeah. I mean, like
Stipe had an 8-fight win streak. He knocked out 7 in a row. He had the most title defenses in the heavyweight division's history. He had 4 in a row.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And then he came back and knocked out DC afterwards.
Yeah, he doesn't have that presence of Tyson though, or no, like Tyson,
no,
or like
he
I'm
looks.
talking about
he looks
the
like
one
flat.
of ones of the fucking sport.
Well, that isn't Ngannou. That's what he could be. That's what his potential.
But even if like the UFC had like a George Foreman or something, maybe Francis Ngannou is a George Foreman, maybe, but I just don't. He just doesn't have that personality.
I don't think we'll ever see.
I
don't think we'll ever see a 10-fight win streak in the heavyweight division. That's just fucking tough, man. When you got guys that can knock you out with one punch.
There's one guy. There's one guy that can do it right now.
I don't know if Jones can, dude. That's why I've been saying that he should be chill about what he does in the heavyweight division.
His greatest challenges right now are Ngannou and Pavlovich. Other than that, I think he wipes the floor.
Cyril Gane's a tough challenge for him.
I don't think he's as tough as people He's definitely tough. I'm not saying he's not. There was a guy that made a good point today. Like maybe Cyril Khan's ground game is not as good as what they're hyping it up to be. And
I think that's right.
I think that's very accurate, and I think we saw that when Ngannou just fucking lifting him up.
100%.
I mean, Ngannou's a strong guy, but if you got position and you're using it well and you're wrapping up his like you know what you're not like he knows what he's doing on the ground. But like if you're like
there's a difference between knowing what you're doing on the ground and having 20 years experience of high level wrestling. Absolutely.
Like I just don't think
but here's what
wrestling is as good as everyone's making it out to be, and I think John Jones is going. There's rumors, not saying it's true, rumors that he's been practicing a lot of wrestling and a lot of ground game, which and that's kind of nerve-wracking too.
Here's my thing. I think Cyril Gane, if I look at John Jones' career and I look at his 2 closest fights, I don't think this is really arguable to say that it was Gustafsson and Dominic Reyes. Yeah. I think those were his 2 closest fights. Yeah. The only times that I was ever like, John might have fucking lost. And I still, is it Steve?
Yeah.
And I still think that Dominic Reyes fight, that's a fucking really close fight.
Yeah, too. I think
Cyril Gane is very close to those 2.
Can I also say, I think.
What up?
What up, man? I think.
You're going to have to bring that chair over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to run a quick commercial break. Make sure you guys check out our Twitter, @MMA. We'll be right back. All right. Steve, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, man.
What's going on? That's Olive up there. I actually was fucking chilling. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this real quick. I was chilling on the couch on my class with Olive, just fucking hanging out the whole time. And I'm like, oh, I actually kind of like this dog. I'm kind of getting used to it.
That's awesome.
So.
It's not a very beautiful dog.
No, it's absolutely not.
It's a cuddly dog.
I'd rather have like a nice, like a Joe Rogan dog. You know what I mean?
I'd rather have a John Jones dog. Do you see John Jones dog?
Yeah, you got $20,000,
right? Are they Dobermans?
I don't know, but he's an ex.
He has the dog that they use that jumps out of the helicopters.
Is it a German Shepherd? Is it a German Shepherd?
It's like a hybrid German Shepherd. It's like a fucking. It's a killer.
It's a beast.
It can jump like 20 feet high.
I have seen videos of it. It is sick. That is wicked cool. I wish I could buy something like that.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to run you through everything that's kind of happened over the last 24 hours. And there is some stuff that we haven't even gotten to, too. There's a couple things I want to talk about tonight.
There's a lot.
Came out today that Francis Ngannou is rumored to be a free agent. Now, he's not. But what happened was a bunch of reports came out that said he is a free agent, which I can only assume means Ngannou and his team wanted to leak the information that he's a free agent to get other people talking.
Yeah.
So his contract is over with the UFC. Reported by many accounts, this isn't confirmed, but it's reported by many accounts, a lot of reputable sources, January 20th. His contract's done with the UFC. He then has a 4-month non-negotiating clause in his contract, meaning he can't talk to any other promotion for 4 months, except the UFC. He can still negotiate with the UFC for 4 more months.
Yeah.
Which means that if he were to just say, I'm not going to the UFC, not doing it, May 20th, he can now start talking to PFL, Bellator, Ryzen, ONE FC, all the other ones.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not going to wake up tomorrow here and then Ngannou's in the PFL, basically is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I will say, though, because we were talking about some other stuff, but real quick, when we had this podcast about the PFL, because Jake Paul made waves in the PFL, talking about his new pay-per-view division that he's going to be doing, I was saying, like, it's going to take a little bit for them to get some people. It's going to take a little bit. It's going to be around the summer that we might see the first one. That's pretty on point with the timetable of if, it's still a big if Ngannou were to go to the PFL. Now.
His grandma was wearing a shirt on New Year's. I'm pretty sure it's already happening. not to burst your bubble, but I'm pretty sure it's already
It
happening.
seems like it is written in the woodwork.
It's not.
But,
This ain't a coincidence by any means.
No, it definitely isn't.
Here's my thing. Okay. Name me one heavyweight from the PFL. You can't do it. There's.
Oh, that's why That's why this whole Jake Paul.
Perfect for him.
This is perfect, dude.
I mean, for him, sure, because he's going to go to the PFL. He's going to go 4-0. He's going to retire. He's going to have 4 first-round knockouts. So, yeah, for him, and he gets the bag, probably. I get it. Like, yeah, that's fine. If he wanted to go down, like, legacy standards, he would stay in the UFC. But I'm not going to fucking say that because, go get your money. All for it, 100%. And I think that diversity between MMA promotions is good. I think if the PFL gets better, the UFC will get better, Bellator will get better. Like, I think all this is good.
Yeah.
But like, I looked it up, and it took me, and I'm pretty good on the internet. Like, I can kind of surf, and I know a bunch of different sources, and I'm pretty good at mixing different MMA pages, Topology, SureDog, all that stuff. It took me 5 minutes to figure out who the fucking PFL heavyweight champion was, which is a long time. It's this guy, and I can't even fucking remember his name.
You guys like that dog you're hearing? It's fucking awesome, isn't it?
The PFL really needs to update their website, by the way. There's nothing about Jake Paul. There's nothing about the pay-per-view division, anything like that. This guy right here, Ante Dalia. That is the heavyweight champion.
I know him.
Yeah. Okay. This other guy right here, Bruno Capolazza, he is the former heavyweight champion. This guy's probably the best fighter in the heavyweight division right now. If Ngannou were to go to the PFL, this is who you'd be facing. This guy has like decent marketability. People kind of know his name. Dalia is a first-time champion that just happened 2 months ago. So Bruno Capolazza would probably be the big fight to make. But yeah, this is pretty fucking nuts. It's still happening, and it's not going to happen really if it even does happen for 4 more months. But
well, I can tell you that he won't sign another contract before January 20th.
100% not.
You know what I mean?
No, he has to wait 4 months too.
And
he can't negotiate. He just can negotiate with the UFC.
Yeah, that's what,
yeah,
but
so
that's what I
months.
mean. Like him and the UFC aren't going to talk though.
Yo.
He's just going to stay stagnant. I don't think he's going to do anything.
Yeah,
He's just going to let it ride.
this dog's gonna fucking get it. This dog's gonna fucking get it. I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. Yeah, dude, it surprised me. Not surprised me, but I was just surprised that it's happening this soon. Something came out this soon.
Slowly bleeding right now. Slow bleed.
They're in
They're
probably
in a very
the
tough
worst
spot
spot
that they've been in a long time.
Yeah, and this is the perfect time to make a move in the only organization. I'm sure there will be more. The only organization that's making a huge move
PFL.
is the PFL.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Even
going
though
on?
we can still hear him. Her, whatever. No, we were just talking about how this UFC is probably in the worst position it's been in a long time. And it's not even a really
probably.
bad position. It's not.
Oh no,
like
it's not a bad position
at
It's
all.
not
But
a
I mean,
terrible
you're
position,
losing.
But
Something big could happen if you were to lose some key parts. Like you're not going to have like the status.
The
of what
last
you do
time
now.
a UFC champion fought for another organization without losing his belt, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, was like fucking BJ Penn when he fought in Pride in 2005 or 6. He was the lightweight champion, and he remained the lightweight champion in the UFC, but he just got a pass to go fight in Pride at 200 pounds to fight Lyoto Machida at the time because the UFC wouldn't let him go up to 200 pounds in Pride Wood. And that was 16 years ago. So if nothing else, the UFC, we can agree, has monopolized MMA for a long time now. And I guess you can't say monopolized anymore. Over the last 2 years, Bellator has been the number 2 organization, and they've had very good runs. And now PFL is starting to really come out. So for as far as like what's interesting to me is I want to know if PFL and Bellator will ever try to go head to head with UFC, like schedule events at the same time as UFC pay-per-views.
Because just fucking merge, dude.
That's when it gets really fucking interesting. Because Bellator's smart and they put their events on Fridays, and usually it's the Friday right before a Saturday pay-per-view of a UFC.
Yep.
They should merge.
But I wonder if PFL were to go to fucking Saturdays, what would happen then? That would be interesting. Because over the last year and a half, especially, and even the news that dropped on New Year's of the UFC raising its pay-per-view prices, fucking UFC fans have been pissed about this for a long time. Speaking as someone who's at ESPN Plus for over a year, has bought a majority of the pay-per-views, I spend $75 a month on a pay-per-view and $12 a month on ESPN Plus. So that's $90 a month.
Basically $100 a month.
Just round it up, brother.
I'm spending $1,000 a year on UFC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
And
we don't have to buy.
If you look at sample size, like what I make, like it's not a fucking crazy deal, but that's way more than I spend watching the NFL, watching NBA, watching any other sport. I don't spend any money to watch those.
And you're a diehard fan of the sport too. That's
Exactly.
crazy. They're milking their most, like, I don't know, their best fan base. Yeah, their most loyal fan base.
Because they're at a point where they're fucking monopolizing.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh yeah, if you don't want to watch the UFC, go watch Ryzen, go watch some Japanese guys you never heard of. You don't care about that. Because they know 80% of UFC viewers are in it to watch Conor McGregor, to watch Paddy Pimblett, to watch Sean O'Malley. They're not like, oh, I hope I see a good armbar today. I want to see a really good boxing match. Like, no, they want to see the fucking big guys. That's what this sport is. It is celebrity-based profiting matchmaking. That's what the UFC's into.
Jake Paul's going to change that for the PFL, I feel. He just brings, like, this vibe. Like, want to punch people in the face.
I want to see what their prices are first. That's another really good
yeah.
Because
really
they're going to have to charge a good amount if they want to pay these fighters, because I know 50% to fighters is a really big deal. And it's like, if the UFC has 14 fights with 28 fighters, and those 28 fighters are still only getting 30% of the buy, that's like less than 1% of the pay-per-view's gross income goes to each fighter. Yeah. Whereas if the PFL has 5 fights with 10 guys, that means that each guy is getting 5% of the gross income. That's over 500 times the amount that they would get in a percentage-wise from the UFC. Now, the PFL is not going to sell as many buys. They're just not. Unless they have a fucking card where it's a huge fucking name.
Yeah, like how long is this card going to be, and how long is it going to take to get to the main event? Because that's all people are going to want to watch. Right?
And that's what we got to figure out, and that's what's going to happen.
Is it going to be MMA and boxing mixed? Like,
what
is going on?
Is there going to be 20 fights? Is there going to be 2 fights? Are they going to do a pay-per-view of 1 fight?
Is it going to be...
There's a lot.
Exactly.
That's what I think is going to happen, dude.
I think it's going to be everything.
Like, you're so fucking Blueface fighting, dude. Like, come on.
If Jake Paul's smart,
I don't think they're going to go celebrity in that.
I think they might.
I think they might for the beginning. I think they might.
The bottom line, the PFL is looking to make money right now. And if you think about it, Jake Paul going to PFL almost kills celebrity boxing. Like, there's still going to be some here and there. You got the fucking, who's the TikTok dude that had a boxing match?
Hall?
Yes, Bryson Hall. Yeah.
Bryce Hall. I don't know.
Whatever. He had one. KSI does it in England. His brother Deji fought Floyd. Like that shit's still going to kind of happen. But Jake Paul was the guy. And he made a bunch of stars around him. And now he's in the PFL.
He's the first one to start this whole fucking thing.
And he will in turn be like, hey, Bryce Hall, I'm gonna give you more money. Come fight for me. Like, come fight in the PFL, and you'll get those stars. And it'll be like
Rosenstrike, dude. Or like,
and he'll be like, hey, Shane Burgos, you have some UFC creds. Come fight in this division. You'll get paid more. Get some UFC fans.
Called them out
and then you get a boxer. You get like legitimate boxers, and you'll be like, hey, get the diehard boxing fans, and then they're just gonna cultivate, and they're gonna get more fans and get bigger. And that's how they get more fighters. That's how they get more money. That's how they get everything.
The gap.
That's gonna take a long time.
It is.
That's the thing. We're not going to see a huge PFL pay-per-view besides maybe one if Ngannou goes there until I would get like a huge one.
Year?
Dude, I'm going to say 2025. I don't even think it happens.
All right,
next year.
yeah, I don't believe that. I think it's gonna.
No, I think it happens either next year.
They have it at the end of the year.
And if it doesn't happen next year, then I don't know. Happen next year.
But here's the thing: they could have
2025. They gotta make money now, though. You gotta think like now, like you need this now. Like,
I mean, they're
Dana
already
White,
making
the
decent
shit
money.
on Dana White, the shit that's going on with the UFC and fighter pay. Like you're gonna. I don't know.
Listen,
I'm not saying,
in a perfect world,
you're not saying that it's gonna happen in 2 years. You're inferencing. So, I think that's a bad. In my eyes, that's a bad move. If you were to wait,
I would
until
agree.
2025,
I would agree, and I don't think it's
poor
waiting
move.
though. I think they have several pay-per-views up till then of this pay-per-view division. I just don't think it's. No, I'm saying like a huge one, a fucking
really
massive sell. I'm talking like Ngannou versus someone, Masvidal on the card. They have a boxing match. They have a celebrity, like a big one.
I think it's going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm sure it will.
I do. I think
they have a big one before 2025.
I think the first one. I think the first one's going to be big.
I think you could be close though.
So
you could no, you are close.
100%.
You are
so
close.
This is something that was brought to my attention in our group chat that I'm sure you saw. And I don't think this ever happens, but let me just get your guys' first opinions on it. What do you guys think of the prospect of Ngannou turning around and saying, "I'm not going to the PFL. I want to box Tyson Fury"? Because that was in the water chain last year.
That's fine. You're giving more time. Yeah, I think, dude, that would be the top tier move for Ngannou to do.
That's his
top
best.
He gets
tier.
He gets
move,
30.
bro.
He gets 20 mil, 30 mil for that fight.
Yes.
He's not gonna make that much more.
And then guess what?
But he also gets knocked out in that fight. Let's be honest here. He gets knocked out.
He gets knocked out. He gets knocked out.
He totally does.
But if he knocks out Fury,
no.
The world is fucking. He's not. You're right.
You're right.
You're right. I'm sorry.
He could though.
But
he could.
If he did,
that would destroy the boxing.
Yeah, but he could knock him out.
If
the
Ngannou,
boxing world would implode, bro. There is no way.
And then listen, if that happens, Ngannou might just be like, "Fuck it." If Ngannou knocks out Fury, which I don't think it's gonna happen. But if he does,
Deontay Wilder.
Ngannou, I don't think would ever come back to MMA. Yeah, he would fight Wilder. He'd fight Joshua. He'd make another 50 mil for the next fight and just say, "Fuck it." Fuck it.
He loses against Wilder, bro.
He loses against all of them.
He loses against all of them. But he
has the one-punch knockout power.
Bro.
He loses
the bronze bomber.
I think he has a better shot against Deontay Wilder than Tyson Fury. Bro, have you ever seen his head movement? It is ridiculous.
Really,
for his size,
Fury's bigger.
Really good.
For his size, you should not be able to move that fast.
6'9", 270, and he moves like a fucking welterweight.
On the dude?
Yeah, that too.
Bro,
he got dropped by Wilder and got
bad.
the fuck back up.
So bad. I've never seen anybody take.
That is one of the coldest moments. I'm gonna play that right now because I haven't seen that forever.
Pull up the one with his hair because he's gotten dropped by him a lot, not just once.
He got dropped twice in the third fight.
Multiple times. Mm-hmm. So he definitely has a chin.
That's.
Oh my god,
that would be crazy.
I did not watch this fight live. I heard about it after. I didn't know who Fury was when this fight happened live. I learned about it after.
I learned about Deontay Wilder from Joe Rogan before I learned about
Tyson Fury. Hang on. Didn't we watch this at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Watch the second fight.
Okay, dude, my ass was.
Dude,
I wasn't even having fun at the point.
We heard the pay-per-view started at 10. The main event happened at 1. We got there at 9 in case there wasn't seats. We sat at Buffalo Wild Wings for 4 hours at the bar.
No, longer. Sat there longer, dude. Longer, dude.
Oh, he got up. Holy shit. What the fuck? Look at the 12th round. 30 seconds into the 12th round.
He's still fainting. It's just crazy.
He gets a right and then an uppercut. Floors him.
And Deontay Wilder just probes. He just waits and just loads it up. And
boom.
Bro.
That uppercut. He looks dead.
Bro, he's dead. He's dead.
He's dead. Dancing in the background.
He's like, I'm up. He's like, I'm good, bro.
You ever heard him talk about it? Dude, look at this. He's like, yeah, I'm good. Dude, I'm good. And then he comes back and arguably wins the round.
And he wins, bro.
Dude, have you ever heard him talk about it?
No, I haven't really heard him
He goes,
about it.
That was when I learned Wilder's weakness. That's when I learned that this guy's big thing is he can hit hard, and he couldn't knock me out. So at that point, I was like, fuck it. You're going to embarrass me in front of my family. You're going to put me on my ass in front of my child, in front of my wife. I'm going to kill you.
His wife,
I'm going to kill.
Bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Smoke show.
Dude, Tyson
Oh
Fury.
my
he
God,
pushes P.
bro.
Oh, he pushes P.
Bro,
And he talks about how he was
bring her up, bro.
cheating on her all the time and stuff. And
Dude, he used to be
being
a
a
mad
dog.
man.
I know. It's awful.
He provides, bro. Paris. Oh my God, what a sexy ass name. That is a
lucky guy. Lucky guy.
Yeah, she's banging.
Go to the left right there. All the way to the left.
She's not even like smoke show. She's just super cute.
Yeah.
Like super cute.
She must be
She doesn't
tall
look cute in
too,
that
'cause
one.
She's a big guy.
She's like
Yeah, she is. She's 6'1". 6'1".
Yeah, right.
Zach, she could beat you up.
I bet she could.
Beat me up.
I bet she could. She's 5'4".
Really?
She's 5'4"?
She doesn't look that
No
small.
way.
Huh.
Wow, she's got hotter.
Oh wait,
No, she's 5'8".
she married Tyson at 19. Is a
Wow,
mother of 6
good
children.
for her, bro.
It's a mother of
Good
6
for her.
children.
Good for him, dude. What do you mean?
talking about?
Damn, fucking 9. Wow. You got her young. Damn. She loyal.
Mm-hmm.
She loyal.
5'4".
Smart.
5'4".
That's crazy, huh?
Oh, dark brown eyes, fucker.
Yeah, that's
Awful.
a good.
Oh.
That's fine. Right there. All right.
It's a deal breaker.
So, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that is actually a possibility that he goes and boxes Tyson?
I definitely
Would you
do.
say it's more
Winner
or
takes
less
Paris.
likely than going to PFL?
Winner takes Paris Fury.
I think that it's.
I don't think so.
Francis Ngannou. Tyson.
I don't. I think that's a really, really tough call. I think it is more likely.
Zach smiling at that.
To be honest with you, I don't know if Tyson Fury would really entertain that much.
I bet he would,
You
dude.
think so? Yeah.
Think about it like from Floyd's perspective when he boxed Conor. Floyd was like,
Mm.
"This guy's gonna make me a lot of fucking money, and I'm gonna beat his ass." And that's what Fury's thinking. Fury just got paid $30 million to box Chisora a third time, a guy who he's dominated twice. If he got paid $30 million to do that, he's gonna get $100 million to fight Ngannou. Because listen, actually, the heavyweight division in boxing right now is actually better than it's been in a long time. You have Usyk, who Fury should box, but won't because Usyk might beat him.
Really?
He might. He really might, dude.
Wow.
Usyk's really fucking good.
I know. I've seen.
Thing is, Fury's like 8 inches taller than him.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't know.
But Usyk's really good.
He fought that other dude.
He's 20-0. He knocked out Anthony Joshua.
He beat
I
him
bet on-
twice,
I bet
right?
on
He
Usyk.
beat Anthony Joshua twice.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, he's defended the title quite a bit. I know that, right?
Oh wait, did he knock out Joshua or Ruiz? It might have been Ruiz.
He knocked out
Joshua. Decision twice.
Yeah. So those two fights I watched, I rewatched, and he pretty much dominated both of them. And that guy was way bigger than him, like decently bigger than him.
He's only 5'10", dude.
No way. Is he 5'10"?
I thought he was like the same height as
Where does it say it?
as
6'3".
6'3". Okay.
So he's like 7 inches shorter. It's crazy because 6'3" is like it's like good size for heavyweight. And then you just talk about Tyson Fury, who's fucking 6'10".
That's ridiculous.
Hey, my boss was a boxer growing up. He
Usyk has a
fucking
78-inch reach.
He likes Usyk.
Usyk has
Yeah.
dude. Usyk's really good.
He-
He's the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world
It's
right
gonna be
now.
like plus 300.
When you have guys like Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, who just had a huge knockout, you have guys
He had
like
a good fight. I'll give him that. He is. He
And,
did
Canelo,
Him and
Dimitri
Ryan
Bivol.
Garcia, right? Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia.
Gervonta
That-
Davis beat Victor Garcia, and now they're saying Ryan Garcia is next.
That's not happening.
You don't think? So?
It's not going to happen for a while. It might happen eventually. Tank Davis is only like 32. Ryan Garcia is like 24.
Gervonta Davis was supposed to be like the fucking prophecy.
He's 28 now.
He's really good.
Yeah. No, I know he's good. He's supposed to be the
I
prophecy.
think if Garcia gives it a couple more years, I think Garcia can do it, dude. That guy's been on highlight reel since he was 18 years old, doing the fucking.
Very good marketing. Very good marketing on his part. Very good. And he's been on podcasts.
Maybe he'll box on PFL.
Yeah, he's on Steve Will Do It.
Yeah,
And dude,
Good
John
Ryan
Jones,
Garcia versus Jake Paul in
I
boxing.
just say
Let's do it.
I've thought about this. John Jones and Jake Paul make a great combination, dude. A great combination. Huge combination. Like, that is, like, great fucking... If you can get John Jones and Jake Paul to market your fucking company, you're going to be big. John
Jones doesn't do a lot of marketing, though. At least he has it in the last... Since Cormier.
He's quiet.
Like he did in Cormier.
He's smart. He's smart, quiet.
He doesn't need to do marketing. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, no, but him and Jake Paul, dude, it's fucking...
I don't think John Jones... Listen, Ngannou going to PFL, in my opinion, is still a stretch. But John Jones going to the fucking PFL, that's even crazy.
I'm only saying it
John
because
Jones
he said it on Steve's podcast.
John Jones will still make, like... He'll make 1.5 mil for his next fight. Like, John Jones' last couple fights, he made over $1 mil. And that was fighting Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos, who at the time were nobodies that he was minus 400 favorites for. Like, he still makes over $1 million. It's not like he's getting paid in Ngannou money. Like, John Jones gets paid dough. So if you were to go to the PFL to make more money, if you were to get $3 million a fight to fight John Jones,
over $10 million, Zach, not just $1 million. We're talking about 10x here.
I don't know, man. That I hope it happens.
You said $8 million.
It would be really cool.
Years ago.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if that would ever fucking happen. Like, the PFL doesn't have that money to be fucking
I think they do. I think it's a huge gamble. I think it'll pay off.
You know what I find also interesting? You know how if you want to look up Patrick Mahomes' contract, you can just look that shit up. It tells you everything. It tells you incentives, tells you bonuses. You can't look up UFC fighter contracts, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, that's up to the
They're
fighter,
very
though.
secretive and lucrative about that, huh?
Yeah.
They don't like to really discuss how much
The
they
UFC. Pay. Okay, this came. Wow. Hold on. So this is from. I'm trying to find a good
8 to 10 million.
TMZ. All right, TMZ is not a good fucking media source. TMZ is profit for advertisers.
10
media.
million, way too low.
Yeah, he said the UFC offered him $10 million, and he said it wasn't enough to fight Ngannou. Now listen.
That's enough. That's enough.
If you want to go to the PFL and you expect to make 20 mil to fight Ngannou,
could happen.
Dana White's just gonna be like,
Go ahead.
Go fucking try. He's not, because he's going to keep John Jones for as long as his contract dictates. But like,
John Jones, is he in contract right now?
That's the thing about Jones, because he hasn't fought in 3 years.
I don't think he's in contract right now. Don't think
that's
so.
That's the thing. Like, how does the contracts work?
Yeah.
Because Ngannou's contract, the weird thing about Ngannou's contract is that he signed for a 5-fight contract or till the end of this date. And Ngannou still has a fight left on his contract, but the date's coming up, so they're letting him go. So it's like, there's these 3 requirements. Whatever happens first, you get to go. So you only fought 4 times in your 5-fight contract, but you get to go. That's why UFC contracts are fucking weird, man. That's another reason why.
It's just in the contract.
That's another reason why, and I've said this before, a fighters union would benefit both sides. UFC will never allow that. Never. But it comes to a point where you now have CBA agreements. And with those CBA agreements, UFC can be like, you signed a 5-fight deal, I'm not letting you go until you fought 5 times. Because you fought and your union fought for this contract, you make us uphold it, we're making you uphold it. You know, for the UFC, that part would be beneficial for them. They would also have to shell out more cash and do more and like a bunch of shit that they would fight for every single time their CBA ended. So that wouldn't be beneficial for them. But if you look at it from that point of view, like, you know, maybe Ngannou wouldn't be making noise about going to PFL right now.
I think it would be worse for him if they make a union.
I think it would. That's why the UFC wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying there are some benefits to it.
Yeah, what if Conor McGregor, or like, you know, Conor McGregor's, let's just use Conor McGregor's for example. This motherfucker blows up, right? But he's in a 5-fight contract. What the fuck's he do? He's in the same position that they're in now.
Look at the NFL, man. Look at these wide receivers that were signed.
I'm not looking at the NFL. I'm looking at the UFC.
Well, I'm just saying compared to the NFL of a guy who signs like Geno Smith. Geno Smith signed a 2-year quarterback for the Seahawks who became the starting quarterback for the Seahawks after Russell Wilson left. Everybody thought he'd suck. He was in MVP contention at some points in this year. He signed a 2-year, $5 million deal. Now, starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now are getting paid $30 million. Up more. Geno Smith's not in that upper echelon. But a guy of Geno Smith's stats, his caliber this year, should be getting paid like a good $15 million a year. I don't think that's a stretch. But he's going to get paid $2.5 million next year. But that's part of his contract. He has to live up to that. He signed it.
So I mean,
it'd be the same thing with UFC fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Signed a 5-fight deal.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're saying that you want a union. Unionize it.
I didn't say I want to unionize it. I said I was
you
just
said
pointing out.
You said unionize it would make it better.
No, I said there's some points of the UFC having a union that would make it better. In the
I think
large
the bad
run,
outweigh the good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
bad
agree.
definitely outweigh the good.
I agree. All right, so next topic, because there's a couple more things, and we've already gone 50 minutes, and I didn't even put up the banner for Ngannou. Next thing, Aljamain Sterling came out today talking about he went to an orthopedic surgeon. He has a partially torn bicep that will require surgery and will keep him out most of 2023. So, here's the thing. Henry Cejudo was rumored to fight Aljamain in March. Henry Cejudo just got out of his 6-month steroid pool that you have to be once you've gotten out, and he's cleared, so he's back on the UFC roster. Sean O'Malley's the number 1 contender, right? That seems like a logical step to me, have an interim title belt for Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling. But I'd like to remind you guys that on February 18th, there's a fight night main event of Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen. Now, if that were to become an interim title fight, it would get bumped to a pay-per-view. They're not having a fucking title fight on fight night. They're not having a title fight that's free to customers. They just wouldn't do that because, the UFC. But do you think that there's any chance, or would you guys like to see that fight be for a title fight? Or would you rather just wait to see Cejudo O'Malley?
I want to wait. I think that the injury thing with Aljo, how many times are we going to see this over and over again? I mean, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a big thing in his career. He's very injury prone. Fuck it. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see Cejudo come back. Let's see if he's really got it. And I think O'Malley proves it, and the UFC has been pulling for it that way.
I'm going to bet Sean O'Malley, dude.
I'm betting Cejudo. I think Cejudo mops the floor with O'Malley. O'Malley's going to outstrike him for a little bit, but as soon as Cejudo gets him to the ground, fucking done.
I thought the same thing about Pitter. But
the difference between wrestling between Petr Yan and Henry Cejudo is so different.
It probably is very, very drastic, but I don't know.
Longer legs,
I don't know.
Reach, 65% of the time, a 7-inch.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's definitely a great point, and it goes back to the Yan versus O'Malley fight that everybody counted out O'Malley and he won. But
I definitely
when you look at styles, to me, O'Malley totally could outbox him. Problem is how long can he stay on his feet? And I think he'd be able to stay on his feet a little bit. He has a 5.5-inch reach advantage over Cejudo. That's huge, especially for their size. Yeah. The lower weight divisions you go, the bigger a reach is a bigger percentage of all that shit.
I think it'll be easier for him to get up off the ground using his legs too. His legs are so fucking long, dude. He can be able to maneuver off the ground.
How much damage is Cejudo actually going to be able to do when he's on top with those long legs and that long reach that O'Malley's going to be able to?
Believe it or not, for jiu-jitsu artists, longer legs on their opponent makes it better for them because it makes it harder to get out of limb locks. You know what I mean? If you have an arm tied up, if your arm is this big, you only have to move your arm that much. If your arm's that big, you now have to bring it all the way through here.
Yeah, if he's a flexible dude, with Sean O'Malley,
he is a flexible dude. And I think O'Malley would
to push him off.
I think O'Malley would surprise a lot of people with his takedown defense and his ability to get up. But can he do that the whole fight? Cejudo's not going to box with him for 15 minutes. He just wouldn't fucking do that.
And it wouldn't be a 15-minute
Cejudo's been away for a long time.
And look at and think about this. Cejudo's last fight in the UFC was against Dominic Cruz, who has the same measurements as Sean O'Malley. He's an inch shorter with a 72-inch reach, the same as Sean O'Malley. And he knocked him out in a minute.
Cheeto beat him. Cheeto beat Dominic Cruz.
I think Sean O'Malley has a very good shot in the fight, especially due to his length. I think Sean O'Malley has improved so much over the last 3 years, and that Petr Yan fight fucking proved it. not only with his skills, but his toughness. He should have been knocked out by Petr Yan.
Yeah,
and then he should have been gassed and gotten fucked in the third round. And he just came out better. Sean O'Malley's improved, and he's impressed me so much.
Better, dude. He's improved.
100%, I believe that.
He's
but Cejudo is really a Olympic gold medalist wrestler who
youngest
has
of all time.
Been
youngest
out,
of all time.
Who's been out of competition for 3 years to let his body chill and heal and train. Like he might come back and run the division for a couple of years.
I mean, I would not be surprised. I believe you. You know what? I think that's way more likely.
He's 35, maybe not a couple of years, maybe like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Which I guess is a couple.
But I don't know.
I would rather Hart wants O'Malley, Brain says Cejudo.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's a tough one. Wait,
right,
what do you think?
I'll tell you if it goes to decision.
O'Malley.
Yeah, I know. What do you think?
winning
Decision
that
or
fight.
knockout? That's what
I
was
think
gonna
it's
say.
a knockout. I think Cejudo ground and pound TKOs O'Malley in like the second or third round. Third round. I'll say third round. That'd be my guess.
I could see that.
Next.
UFC Vegas 67 is this Saturday, the first event of the year for 2023. And we started the week off with a fucking bang. Kelvin Gastelum looks like he got mouth herpes and is now out of the main event of
All
Fight
over that
Night
shit,
67.
bro.
Have you seen
fucking
this
mouth.
picture?
No, let me
Yeah,
see
that's-
it.
Kelvin
Staph
Gastelum got a
infection
staph
in his
infection of his mouth because the pads he's rolling around in his gym weren't fucking washed, basically. So,
The person that he was facing, I would assume.
yeah, it's one of those
The
things.
person that he was facing.
Kelvin Gastelum is
Whatever it
out.
was, yeah.
Sean Strickland is in.
Yes. I
Sean
saw
Strickland
that.
versus Nasruddin Imavov.
Back to back.
One of the smallest camps for a main event in UFC history. The only one I can think of that's about the same is Jorge Masvidal stepping in to fight Kamaru Usman the first time. When he had 6 days, Sean Strickland has like what, 5.5? Like
It was 4.5.
no, he stepped in yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
At nighttime.
Do you count
Okay.
Saturday?
All right, so either fucking way, dude, it might be the shortest camp of all time for a main event.
Does he
And you're
win?
talking about a guy who fought a month ago, less than a month ago.
And was the main event of that fight night.
Yeah.
So the
Does
last
he win?
time
Does he win?
the last time this has happened was UFC
That's what
50
we're gonna
and
get.
51.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. The last time someone main event back to back.
I looked this up because I saw it on your Twitter. Davison Figueiredo did it in 2020. Davison
he did?
Figueiredo. So the thing was, Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno both fought on UFC 257. They both got first round finishes. And then they said, fuck it, we're going to fight each other in the next pay-per-view because the next pay-per-view, the main event dropped out. And that's when they had their draw. So Davison Figueiredo did it. And you said Tito Ortiz was the one you said? What was that, UFC 50?
50 and
That's a pretty
51.
big fucking gap.
It's a long time ago, bro. Talking
And,
about Tito.
you know, this isn't pay-per-views, but it's fight nights. But it's still fucking... He's fighting twice in less than a month. One of them on 5 days' notice.
He just got knocked out.
And he's fighting... No.
He just get. Oh wait, no.
He went to a decision in a really good fight. He lost barely to Jared Cannonier. Who's a different
He
fighter
got
than
knocked out by
Imavov.
Pereira. That's something.
Who's a different fighter than Imavov. So he has 5 days notice to fight a guy that's not like the guy he was fighting in his last camp. It's a tough fight for Strickland, who right now...
Strickland wins, dude. By decision.
I mean, if he loses, what happens to him?
Decision is tough, man. You're talking about a guy with 5 days notice to go 5 rounds. This is a 5-round fight.
Yeah, they don't want you to bet it. I'm going. They don't want you to bet that shit.
Fair enough.
Oh,
They're
man.
like, oh, he is gonna get knocked out.
I might have Imavov. This fight is not on the sports book, or it wasn't
It's
this
not.
morning.
It's not. He's minus 110. He opened up at plus 140, and people hammered Strickland. He's at minus 110.
So
Are you
Strickland is
serious?
the number 7
He opened up at
contender
plus
right now.
140.
He opened up at plus 140. No wonder why people hammered him. I would have probably sprinkled him with 140 too.
See, I like Imavov, man.
I'm sure you do.
He's at a full camp. The thing is, too,
Yeah, full camp, not fighting Strickland though. Same
Yeah.
thing with Strickland not fighting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Strickland's a forward fighter. Like he's a very uncomfortable.
he's not really.
He is.
He's kind of a defensive striker.
He's a forward striker.
Look what he did against Pereira. He was just kind of chilling.
Talking about the one
moment.
fight that he got knocked the fuck out in.
Watch his Cannonier Strickland fight.
I'll watch all of them. He's known for that forward, non-going pressure, like always going forward.
Which is what Imavov does best. Imavov is a very pressuring fighter. So it's a clash of styles. It's and I will totally give you that. Gastelum to Strickland is totally different too. Not only from styles, but from size.
Gastelum was gonna win that shit.
Can I see who's fought before?
This dog is still fucking going, dude. It's like not going, not stopping.
He beat Joaquin Buckley. He knocked out Edmund Shabazian. He knocked out Ian Heinisch. So no one of the level of Sean Strickland, but 3 guys that all in their time were either top 20 or ranked.
And TKO.
And he lost a majority decision to Phil Hawes.
There is no comparison to Sean Strickland up there.
I don't know.
Closest comparison is Phil Hawes, no?
Edmund Shabazian.
I'm smelling a little Sean
I'm
Strickland.
smelling Sean Strickland, dude.
Smelling some Sean Strickland right now.
Strickland has a 1-inch reach advantage.
What's the strike percentage between the two?
We are looking at 40% for Strickland.
152 to 140.
Looking at 54% for Imavov. Imavov has a defense percentage of 62%. Strickland 64% is the same fucking thing. Takedown defense is 85% for Sean Strickland. That's very good. Imavov is 76.
It's
not a big difference. Imavov will go for a takedown every now and then, but yeah, Strickland doesn't really. This is going to be a stand-up fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a stand-up fight.
It's going to be a striking fight. No.
I just wonder if it goes into the later rounds. If Strickland has the ability to go 5 rounds and not get gassed, at least not get more gassed than Imavov, then I might go Strickland. But I got a feeling that he's going to be like, I might bet Strickland round 1. Because a lot of these guys that have short notice fights, Masvidal versus Usman included, they fucking go ballistic in round 1 because they know they got 1 round of cardio on them. So they go for the knockout in round 1. I could see that, especially with Imavov being an in-your-face type fighter. Like Strickland might just go for fucking haymakers because Imavov is going to be coming at him. So that might be interesting. I might look at that. I don't know. I got the feeling. I don't like fighters coming in on 5 days notice. That's fucking so tough.
Yeah, we also said Masvidal on 6 days was going to knock the fuck out, and he had no chance, and they went the full distance.
Right.
So this is kind of, now I'm saying it's going to have kind of comparing it to that in a way. Both kind of, you said, I don't really know Imavov. He walks towards his opponents, walks
Very
them down.
pressure happy, yeah.
Sean Strickland walks down his opponents. I think there's going to be some tiredness in the final round, 4th, 5th round. I don't think they're going to have enough power to knock each other out. They're both constantly going forward and back and forth. Unless if someone's just completely dominating the other guy.
Yep.
I do see this going the full distance. What is the it's not on the sports. I would know if that's an over under.
I doubt they would even come out with an over under on this fight.
Oh, they will.
All right. 2 more things. One of them's a very quick thing, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. Next thing, UFC 283, first pay-per-view of the year, set in 2 weeks' time. Main evented by Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. Co-main evented by Davison Figueiredo Moreno for the last fight of their fucking quadrilogy, please.
Draw.
We talked about this a little.
Draw.
Dude, another
my
draw.
God.
I would die. Bro.
Dana White would
vomit.
fucking kill someone. He would. Oh, no.
Dude, you would slap him?
Yeah, you would slap some judges.
He's gone from.
The judges would hit him first, though.
Jamal.
And then
Right, exactly. Jamal Hill has gotten more. His number has gone up. He's minus 125 now.
I don't think he's moved in a while. I think it's been like that.
I thought he was minus 115.
I think.
I thought he started out at minus 110, though.
I could be wrong. Over under 1.5.
What? Over?
Over minus 140.
Yeah, you take your fucking life kit, you take your grandkids' savings, your son and daughter savings, your mother-in-law, your aunt, your uncle, your nana. You take all their money, you put in a pile, you count it all up, put some rubber bands on it, hammer that over. Hammer.
That's
Hammer.
definitely going over.
Oh my god, dude. I'm about to put the fucking truck on that shit, dude. Oh my god. You got a hammer around here, dude?
Got for 283.
1.5.
You got a fucking hammer around?
Yeah, I have a
Jesus
hammer right on that
fucking-
table, actually. We also have
Hammer.
And the
Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny in this card. We also have Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy. We also have Paul Craig, Johnny Walker. We have Shogun, who was last fight.
I don't know, Johnny.
Brad
Walker,
Tavares has fallen out of this fight. He's not going to be fighting Gregory Rodriguez, RoboCop. They're looking for a replacement. Jailton Almeida versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. This will be, mark my words,
Fight of the night.
2023. No, 2023. This will be a snooze fest.
Really?
Or it'll be a 2-minute submission. This will
I
be
think it'll be fight of the night.
the year of Jailton Almeida. He's fighting 4 times. He will be top 7 by the end of the year.
Can I say that?
With 4 finishes, 3 by submission.
No, he has, but he's been minus 700 every fucking fight, and he's also been minus 1,200, minus 1,000. He's had a short notice fight against two opponents, so not throwing smoke his way yet. He is good, but
I just love his style. It's been a long time since this guy's a 2nd-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and it's been a long time since we've seen a heavyweight do that.
Yeah,
you look at the heavyweight division right now. There's some good wrestlers. There's even some good jiu-jitsu artists. There's nobody on the jiu-jitsu level of Jailton Almeida right now.
I like Gregory Rodriguez.
Yeah, but we got to figure out who he's fighting.
No, I know, but
He's
I like him,
destroying
dude. I like him.
fights. It doesn't even matter.
Gregory Rodriguez is a fucking monster, dude.
Who are they gonna find to fight him? That's gonna beat.
Oh,
him?
also on this card is Terrence McKinney.
Really, teammate is not?
He's fighting. I forget this fucking guy's name. There's brothers from Brazil that got on this card somehow.
Terrence McKinney's brother?
No. Terrence McKinney's fighting Isaac Bonfim, and then Gregory Bonfim is fighting Montez
next week?
Lazarus. No, this is the pay-per-view. This is January 21st.
Oh, not next week. That's what I meant.
They're both getting mopped up. I don't know.
The thing is, McKinney is a submission. I got McKinney too, definitely. But McKinney's a submission first guy. Like Terrence McKinney will go for submissions, and he's fighting a Brazilian dude from Brazil. I don't fucking know him. I'm gonna assume he knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I don't know how well. I'm just.
Were you the one that I said? No, it was Jake or Josh. I said, "Yo, bet fucking Terrence McKinney submission. He ain't knocking this dude out." No, they're knocking him out. They're not. I'm like,
Probably.
telling you, bet him submission. I'm telling you. Submitted the dude the first minute. He like choked him out.
Yeah.
He is been practicing for a long time on the ground, especially recently. I think I could definitely see another submission. Definitely. That Ryan Garcia.
No. All right. The last thing we got to talk about today, the final thing we're going to end off the podcast
That's
with.
what I'm thinking.
We have started a new
hang on.
community on our. Okay.
Poirier Darush. Thoughts on that? Real quick.
For initial thought is that
First thought comes to your head.
How long?
that
is
has
the
to be a
fight?
co-main event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That can't be a main event.
Absolutely.
Darush isn't exciting enough. Darush is a great fighter, but he's not exciting enough.
I
Even a
think
guy
I
like
thought it was a
Poirier,
great call out.
even a guy like, who called who out?
Darush called Poirier out.
Nice.
You didn't read that?
I saw like some speculative stuff about it, but no, I didn't
Said
see it.
Poirier should retire if he's going to keep ducking these.
Oh yeah,
coming up.
yes, I completely agree. Completely agree.
Completely agree with that statement.
100%.
Dude.
They've been saying the same thing about Gaethje Fiziev.
Dude, I'm so sick of these. I feel like all we've talked about, like
In the
especially
lightweight
this
division,
past 2 years,
like
the
4
lightweight
fighters.
division is gone. Like it's still very exciting.
it's full of good people, but
But
no
the
one can crack
top-
into the top 5.
Dude, the top 5.
Look
is
at
just talking
Makhachev.
about the top
Look
5.
at Makhachev. He was
years.
dominating everybody, and it took him until the Oliveira fight. That was his first fight against a top 5 fighter.
He
You
hasn't
got-
proved himself at all, dude. Zero.
You got
Zero.
Makhachev, Oliveira, Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler, Darush. That's your top 5.
Just got another thought.
And no one's getting the fuck in there. Now, I'm gonna answer your Darush Poirier question in a second, but this is the same thing about Gaethje because Fiziev came out, showed that he signed a contract to fight Gaethje. Dana White promised him that he was gonna fight Gaethje.
In March,
It's an
right?
interesting fight. It's gonna be a main event, and so it's like, all right, Ball's in your court, man. What do you want to do?
Is that in March?
They're trying to get it for the UFC 285 card, which is March 6th in Vegas.
Okay. Well, since you brought up Islam, well, what do you think about the Poirier Darush?
I think
Poirier
Darush.
Or
I think Poirier wins.
I think Darush wins.
It depends. If it stays on the feet, I think Poirier wins. But if Darush changes his game plan up and tries to get a submission win, he's gonna win.
Darush is very good on the ground. He's strong for lightweight. He's a big boy.
And Poirier has a very, very tough time with people who are strong on the ground.
Not exactly, man. Poirier is great at jiu-jitsu. Poirier almost tapped Khabib. Poirier's the closest person to ever beating Khabib because he got him in a fucking strong-ass guillotine.
Yeah.
A deep guillotine.
1 minute later,
but he was in front of his dad, bro. He wasn't getting that no matter what, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
All that being said, that is an interesting point. I don't know how strong you can compare Darush to Khabib, but you can make that comparison. They're strong wrestlers at lightweight.
Darush was impressive his last fight.
He was.
He looked good on the
and against a guy like Gamrot, who everybody thought was going to win.
Very, very good stand-up game. Very intelligent.
I think Poirier's stand-up is a little bit. And Darush showed that he likes to stand because I thought that he was going to take Gamrot to the ground. And he showed that he can stand and he likes to stand. I think Poirier will piece him
still a good loss for Poirier if he does lose. That's a very impressive loss. I still think he's in the top 5, 6. You know?
The only thing is Poirier showed me in his last fight with Michael Chandler how much damage he can ensue within such a short amount of time. Because Chandler has fought Oliveira for 5 rounds, basically like a whole bunch of other people. He could not stay in there for any more than 3 rounds in that fight. Like, he was so damaged after the first round.
Yep.
His face was so bloody. And I haven't seen anybody do that to Chandler.
Yeah, Poirier is fan-fucking-tastic.
Poirier's not in the UFC.
Poirier's
such big.
In the last couple of years, he's only lost to
true.
Oliveira and Khabib.
In Bellator, he's probably gotten beaten bad, but
he had great wars in Bellator, dude.
Eddie Alvarez, Benson Henderson, AJ McKee. He had a lot of good wars. He's exciting. He's
an exciting guy.
Every single time Michael Chandler fights, I will watch it.
Very good at
every
marketing. Very good at branding. Very good at
does fucking backflips, calls out Connor.
Very
like
good,
so, he's so great.
Dude, that's another great fight.
Dude,
Chandler, dude,
knocked out Tony cold, knockout of the year. Did 3 backflips and had a great post fight.
One more.
Interview. Like check, fucking check.
Check to the fucking knockout, bro.
Boom.
Jesus.
Banged it out.
Fucking everybody got a bonus.
He's another one of those guys, though. Like, I think he belongs in the top 5. He's shown that. Probably, his best win is against Tony Ferguson, who we've seen what the fuck happened to him. This is Chandler, by the way. But he's another guy. They the top 5 of the lightweight division do not want to give up their spots. They will not let anybody else come in there, and it sucks.
Yeah, honestly, it's like right around when we started this podcast. Like, we've literally just talked about like for 2 years the top 5 guys, dude. Like, it's been
sucks because dude. I don't want to.
It is, and we started
like. Can you guys name
best division?
Can you guys name a couple fighters from 6 through 15 in the lightweight division?
Darush.
I think Darush is 5.
Dober.
Is he?
I think he's 5. Dober's 14.
Turner
13.
Can we say Gamrot, or is that
Gamrot? He's 8, 7 or 8. You got guys like Rafael Fiziev, Arman Sarukian, Grant Dawson's a guy that's coming up that's really good, and I can't even name them all. And I know just about every fighter on the rankings, and I can't even name them all. It's such an injustice to these guys that are coming up. They're all like 28 years old. Sarukian and Fiziev are like 28. They have a long future ahead of them. They get knockouts. Rafael Dos Anjos, Dan Hooker, Demiris Maglov's out, so I got to update this. Renato Moicano, like good fighters, and they're not.
Moicano's 15, huh? Wow, that is a really stacked division.
It is, and it's crazy because you got guys like Conor McGregor, Tony Ferguson, Drakkar Klose, Diego Ferreira, Terrence McKinney, Paddy Pimblett, Kama Worthy, Jay Herbert. Michael Johnson's been doing really well. Matt Frivola, Mark A. Madsen, Abu Azatar. All these guys are like top 25 because the division's so fucking stacked.
Mm.
And you got these 5 guys that just like, nope, we'll just fight each other.
No, I just wanted to talk about that real quick because that happened like literally like yesterday or today. I don't know. Yesterday.
All right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Send it home, Austin.
MMA complete accumulation. I've been talking about this accumulation thing. Can I rip that as I explain that? Wow, that's fucking impressive. Dog stop barking. Shout out dog. This is a fucking game changer for this account. On God, this is going to be the fucking game changer. We're going to be able to create our own Twitter newsfeed, our own. Yeah, I like talking to you guys.
Okay, that's fine.
Plus, I can explain it to like you, like or whatever. Own news feed, our own rules, posting articles, Twitter Spaces will go out. You can literally run your own Twitter Space from your own news feed, and it'll send a notification out to everybody involved in the. That's a member. Shut the fuck up. And then we got 32 members. Haven't even really put that much effort into it. And it's something that can connect everybody in our community with each other. Like we can build off each other. We can create ideas off each other. Just like basically a better way to connect one-on-one with just your followers. Like there's no reason why your followers should not be able, I don't think so much now because it's not really popping off in the trending and algorithm form, but there's no reason why your followers should not be on your own page.
Here's how I explained it. And I did a poor job of explaining it first, but I kind of found a niche. We are getting to the point, which, look at us.
Oh, yeah, you said this today.
Look at us. Like, we're getting to a point that we get on our big posts, we get 100 comments, 200 comments, and we're missing out.
Likes or comments?
Comments, replies, threads. Maybe not 100, but like.
I would say 100.
We get, on the big ones we do, we get 100, not 200, but we get 100. We get
well, that's
30 replies on good posts, not crazy posts, good posts. We get 30 replies. And then we have the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that we talk to a lot that we might not respond to those. We might not see their comment. And this is a way that guys that are truly involved, that they are able to talk with us, that we know they're great minds and we like communicating with them. We have a couple guys right now. We're looking for a lot more minds to not only just talk to you, but to, like you said, formulate new ideas and get new things going.
Example.
And this is the way that we can make sure we see those guys that are true fans.
Yeah.
This is the way that we're going to be able to be like weeding out some of the people that are just commenting.
Yeah, and let's say example. Before I go on, example, that kid Dylan that always joins our Twitter Spaces. That is a way for us to like maybe grow with him better, and like he can grow with us, and like just saying, lives in Indianapolis. Nice connect to have. Yeah. He is he's passionate about what he does.
He gives us good content, and I'm sure he's gotten more followers.
Free content, dude. It's not free, but it's like it's so easy to do, and like I wish more people. No one's posted anything in the thing yet, but that's fine. It's just something.
2 days old.
It's 2 days old. It's something, dude. I think like the first like month I was tweeting, trying to figure out how to get followed. Like there's like nobody. You know what I mean? Like no interaction for months and months. So like. Just being consistent at it, I know for a fact you do it for a year. There's no reason why you can't have 500 members in there. And then not even all of them have to be following. You know what I mean? And then you can weed them out.
Weed them out.
Which people are inactive? Are these bots? Like, are they bringing any form of content or any form of, just like structure to the brand, to the pod. You know what I mean? It's more just for everybody.
Yeah,
it is for everybody, and it's.
So make sure you go give us a follow on our Twitter at @complete_MMA. If you give us a follow, we are going to be sending this invite to most of the followers. We send it to people that we articulate with, that we notice are commenting and have good things to say. So if you want to be involved with what we're doing here, which has definitely been growing, and we've been doing a lot of great stuff with it, what you got to do is, first of all, you got to give us a follow on our Twitter at @complete_MMA. Where we're only 4 follows away from 500. The goal, the fucking top goal, reaching for the stars this year, might not get, but why not the fuck try, is 2,000 followers. That's what I want to do this year. We talked about that the other day. It might be a fucking pipe dream, but I don't fucking care. We're gonna go for it.
Well, have you noticed that we get like 3 a day just doing absolutely nothing? So 3 a day times 365.
That's 1,000 there.
Yeah, it's it. And that's only on just posting random shit. That's not any
right on days that we basically go trending. We'll get 40 followers.
Yeah, imagine if like we followed every person that liked our tweets too. You know, what I mean, that's just it would be like every other person. They got like 5,000 followers to like 6,000, or 5,000 followers to 6,000 followers.
So first thing you got to do is give us a follow on our Twitter @complete_MMA. And while you're doing that, you can also give us a follow on our many other social media pages, which are all in our bio on our Twitter. After that, what you're going to do is just be on our Twitter. Give us some comments, like our stuff. Make sure you get involved with us. Let us know that you're there. The more you talk to us, the more you have good ideas, the more you answer our polls. Just all around engagements that we get with you on Twitter. We're going to notice you. We're going to recognize like, oh, this guy can give us some good content. This guy's a good mind to have. We give you that invite to our community. And then all of a sudden, MMA Complete Accumulation is where every single time you tweet at us, you can also tweet in that
that's
community.
What I mean.
You don't have to just reply to us. You can put your own tweets, and then the 100 members that we have, they're all going to be looking right at you as well. So it's going to be a very much involved community that we started, and over the next couple months.
Just real quick, the goal that I'm trying to set is I want that to be like someone, instead of going right to the newsfeed and checking everything, just go right to that. And then you have all your information for MMA right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They don't need to go. They can go and look, but the information that they're solely going to be looking at is in our community, because they're going to have people that are interacting with us all the time.
Definitely.
You know? So.
All right, but that's going to do it. Episode 145 in the books.
Big for articles, by the way.
I got to tell you guys something.
Big for articles.
Okay. I have some ideas of podcast episodes coming soon. I just want you guys to know that. I have 3 ideas right now of complete hour-themed podcasts coming soon. We're going to break them out on days that there's nothing trending. Maybe if I only got one more week of doing these classes, and then we're back to the Wednesday, Thursdays at 7, so we have more time. We can do a couple more on the week, like whenever we can get together. But one, stealing this from Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith, because I watch their podcast all the time. If you guys don't, you should check it out.
I watch clips. I don't watch
2022 trivia show. UFC trivia. I've already started gathering questions. I'm going to be giving you guys trivia questions for 2022 in the UFC. And I think it's a lot of fun. I have some fun questions. I have some tough questions. That's like some good shit.
Yep.
Second one I want to do, because I've started this article and I'm waiting to do this podcast with you guys until I drop this article.
We do a trivia question every month.
Yeah, we can do that. You guys want to get a trivia question real quick?
Fuck it, we'll go to 10:30. We'll just prolong. We'll just keep prolonging like we've been doing for the past couple episodes. We just keep prolonging them. There's a lot to talk about. That's good, dude. That's good. You know? That's good.
Okay. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen.
All right.
Because there's not answers everywhere.
But read that, dude.
All right, cool. Okay. I'm going to give you guys some easy ones. First one we're just going to do one for today. Okay. I'm going to start with Austin, and then it's going to go to Steve, and it's going to go both of you.
Okay.
So what you need to do is answer the question and not get it wrong. The first one of you to get it wrong loses. Okay? I want you to name a country that a UFC champion is from.
Currently?
UK?
All time.
All time?
All time.
Oh, that's easy, bro.
That's why you're going back and forth until someone gets it wrong.
Oh, keep going?
Keep going.
Oh, UK.
UK.
Brazil.
Fuck, I can't remember.
That's easy, bro.
No, I know. I can't. No, I'm thinking of Ngannou. Cameroon?
USA.
Fucking... Yeah, I can't believe you guys didn't say that.
Yeah, I know. But I was.
When you said UK, I was like, oh shit, all right.
No, I'm thinking Leon Edwards.
Michael Bisping.
Oh, all time?
All time.
All time? Oh, Canada, dude.
Yep.
Spain.
Singapore.
No to Singapore.
What do you mean? That's where fucking. Oh, he's not. He fucking relinquished
He's not from
it.
Singapore. No, Prochazka is not from Singapore. That's where they fought to have the title fight, but he's not. He's from Czech Republic. I don't think Spain was right though either.
No.
Yeah.
And then there's no Spanish fighters.
Oh, I won.
Champions.
I win.
Well, you didn't rebuttal though.
What do you mean I didn't rebuttal? You got it wrong first.
All right, we can say that you won.
That's fine.
What do you mean you can? What's the fucking rules? What do you mean I can say?
I said that you have
the
to
rules, dude.
Yeah, it's just Mexico.
You're like the first one to get it wrong. I'm not saying I'm only.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mexico, Nigeria, China, Kyrgyzstan for Valentina Shevchenko.
Where's Khabib from?
Russia, Russia, Poland. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. That was about it. So yeah, those I have a bunch of questions like that I think would be a really fun time.
No, that's good. That's good.
We got 4 more minutes. Do you want another question? You want to save it? We'll let you guys.
What's your idea? I just want to ask you a question now. What's your idea for articles?
As far as consistency basis, or like ideas that I have for different articles?
I was gonna say idea both now. Both.
I would like to post 3 a week.
Would you like to move the newsletter or keep the newsletter?
Yeah, I talked about this. I'm ready to get rid of the newsletter.
You want to get rid of it completely. Yeah. You don't want to put it on like the articles one on the bio? No?
I mean, yeah, we could do that. I don't have any plans to use review anymore. I used it for a little bit, but that's on a subscriber basis. And we have 5 subscribers and 3 of them are right here.
Yeah, I think later on.
Yeah, I'm sure
community.
But I want to just keep going with the fucking articles that I have, because not only is that going to be good, when we finally get our website up and running, which I've been steadily working on, not on a consistent basis, but like every week or so, I'll try to put a little bit in. Once that gets done and we can start advertising our stuff there, we can do more stuff and the articles pop up there and people can see articles from Twitter and go to our website. I think that's going to be really good.
I think posting, I know I keep bringing the fucking community up, but I think if you post them in the accumulation over time, just people that just open the feed, that's a view.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue doing that for right now. Article ideas, another podcast theme I have for you guys that for some reason, I've done like 10 UFC articles. No, I've done a lot more considering that we've been doing this for 2 years. But over the last year, I did 10 because I didn't do a lot of UFC. I did mostly like football articles and shit this year. One of the best UFC articles I've ever had, like most fun time. I was just chilling at my desk for like 3 hours going over all this shit. Best UFC entrances. For some reason, I had so much fun looking at all these fucking entrances and having a blast and being like, oh shit, I remember watching this shit live. Like it was such a good time. I want to take you guys back in time and do a top 10 list in a podcast and literally go like number 10, I'm going to show you the video of the whole thing. Number 9, do that whole thing. So I think that would be a really good idea for a podcast one day. Again, when nothing's trending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just going to keep that on the back burner. I do want to do the trivia show first.
Cool.
Yeah, no, the trivia show's good.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's a good one. It would be awesome to get like 5 motherfuckers in here. That's a good Twitter space, dude. It is a good pod.
So with the trivia one?
Both. You could do fucking both with it.
I could.
Because I feel like the space is like you can direct it easily with the pod, but like the space you can go one by one, you know, call out every single person,
right.
You know. You could like maybe like we could plan it like Dylan, Mike, everybody go on at the same time and like do it like that, like kind of like a game, like a game show night.
I would have to do so many more fucking
game show night. Yeah, but then we could all.
But what other like trivia questions? Like what other games would I have besides trivia?
No, we could all do questions. We just fucking just give you ideas by that, just by giving you questions, and then you figure out
who gives it to. Yeah.
No, you figure out well. I guess if you given the question, you'll the fucking answer. But
well, if we did this, I would still be the host. I wouldn't take part of the question.
No, exactly. So like that's what I'm trying to do. Like,
but that would be a good idea. Like I would text out to the group chat, and you guys would individually text me those questions. I could add them, and I just make sure I don't ask the person who sent it to me the question.
Or you could, and the person gets it wrong, and they look dumb, and it's just great content for everybody. I don't know. Fucking, All right, so that's what we got in store over the next couple of weeks. Make sure you guys tune in Thursday night at 9:00 when we do our last podcast before the first event of the year, UFC Vegas 67, and then UFC 283 will be Saturday, January 21st.
might do live reactions. I'm not sure. I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know. But we're going to figure that out over the next week. And then we will be back
Interesting
next
you brought that
Tuesday at 9 o'clock to tell you guys. And we will also be announcing it on our Twitter. So make sure you, again, give us a follow there at complete_MMA, where we have started MMA Complete Accumulation Community that you guys should check out. That's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to episode 145. And we're out. Up at 7.
Pulled an all-nighter last night.
I woke up at